Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hope everybody's doing well. I am in the middle of putting together a new project for a new convention that Griffin Hart, will be attending. We are going to be at Motown Con October 19th in Concord at the Cabarrus Trade Center. I'll get the exact place. I can't remember. But look up Motown Con. It's going to be pretty fun. Going to be a smaller thing for us. It's a one-day convention. We're going to be there from about 11 a.m. And then the convention's from 11 to 8. And we're going to be drawing around 7. So we can be packed up and ready to scoot before the end of the convention. It is an anime and comic convention. They're going to have a maid cafe. There's going to be cosplay. There's going to be some fun. It's only one day con, pretty low price tag to get in. We're going to have smaller lots, quite a bit less, probably about half the size of the lots that Griffin Art normally puts out. But still, we're going to have them nice. They're going to be interesting. And we hope people are going to be interested in it. Now, it is very close to Mythic. Mythic is going to be the second weekend in November. But it is a very different crowd. So we're hoping it's not going to be a huge amount of overlap. What we will be raising money for is a parrot rescue and sanctuary. So it's actually interesting. That's what the convention wants us to raise money for. I am all for it. I really do love anything that helps rescue those cute little avians. What I'm doing is designing some smaller sized lots, about 18 by 18 by 12. They're not very big. They're not half the size. They're half the height, but they're quite a bit smaller, mainly because we are just not going to be able to put as much in there because we're not expecting as dramatic of a showing. Does that mean that we're not going to have good stuff? We're going to have great stuff. What are you talking about? I always have good stuff. But we are going to be cognizant of what's going on, and hopefully we'll have a very good time for everybody. If anybody's interested in how I put these together, now unfortunately I have done a lot of the cutting. I am repurposing some of the older dividers. A few years ago we were using nothing. We were literally using baskets. And then it went to, we couldn't find baskets for anything to fit. So we just kind of had everything thrown on the table and kind of had to point where things went. That's when I said, well, we got to put something together. And I designed these 3 foot by 2 foot by about 18 inches dividers. I didn't know a lot of what I was doing. I slapped them together and it worked. I will say at the time, the cost to put those together was a fraction of what it cost to make the new dividers. Now, granted, I went from having 5 to 8. A lot more hardware because there's 3 additional, but the cost of wood has more than tripled. The cost of paint went up dramatically. So I was getting those little sample things at Lowe's, and they were $2 when I did the original. And when I went to do the new ones, those samples were $7 or $8. Well, no, they started at $6.50, but I was doing them piecemeal one at a time because I didn't need to buy everything all at once. By the end, the paint had gone up an entire $1. And the little hinges I was getting, I didn't go on Amazon. I was just going to Lowe's and picking them up. They started off when I originally put these together. It was like $2 for a set of four, and then when I started doing the new ones, it was $4, and those went up to $4.50 a pack by the end, and it was just wow, things got quickly went up. When you're buying the same thing, the exact same thing, very consistently, and there's nothing else really mingling with it, you can definitely see when prices are inflating, and they were inflating very quickly during that time. This was like, I'd say 2022 when I put those dividers together. Yeah, it was 2022. So it was very surprising with that. But hopefully, thankfully, you didn't have to purchase any wood because I'm repurposing, because we're never going to go back to the 3x2s. That's not going to happen. Repurposing those, going to Amazon and finding hinges and the correct screw sets, significantly cheaper and honestly better quality. Before they were this kind of flimsy brass 2-hole. These are actually really nice steel 3-hole, pretty sturdy. Get 20 of these for the cost of 12. So it's a huge improvement. But yeah, and one thing I did find out is, and when the scale goes down, the more exact you have to be, because in the bigger ones, a little off cut or a little miss here or there isn't really viewable. But the smaller you go, the more visible mistakes are. And I'm getting pretty good at measuring things out. My last put together turned out to be very clean. My brother let me use his table saw, and I got nice squared, clean cuts on the boards, and everything's looking good. It's just a matter of drilling some holes, sanding things down, and I do think I do need to assemble each one to make sure before I paint it. So if I have to do any kind of shenanigans, it can be like sanding or cutting again before painting's done. So there's that. Hopefully everything will be good. I also found a new way to paint, which is going to speed up the painting. Before, to paint a divider took approximately 18 hours because I can only paint one side. I have to let it dry, do another coat because I was hand painting with paint. Then I let that dry fully before I could flip it over, paint it again on the other side. So that took a significant amount of time to do. Granted, it was stuff in between, but I could only do one divider set at a time. So it was, almost 2 weeks of painting. But I did figure out a way to rig things up to spray paint. So the painting process itself probably takes about 10, 15 minutes, and then it's just drying. That's it. And so I like the results. I like how it turned out. I did a proof of concept one that turned out. So hopefully these in the finished product are going to look as good. And I'm actually designing some DM dividers because why not? The concept works. I have ideas, and I have some designs to where it should be able to hold on the inside 4 standard pieces of paper, and it has a nice long side with 2 flaps out, so you get a good DM screen size. It should work nicely. It should look really good. I'm hoping it looks really good. That's my goal. and we shall see. If anybody's interested in me doing a more visual on the process, I'm more than happy to do that. Just let me know, and I can put together a video showing what I'm doing in each section. So that's going to be all. You guys have a good one.